Hi there, welcome to Good Sithkeeping. Today we are going to do an unboxing, swatching, and a whole lot of failing on the December Maniology subscription box. This is my fourth subscription box from Maniology, so some of this will start to look familiar. They all come with a detail card and an idea card. This first detail card tells you the polishes and the plates and the special gift that came with the kit. It also comes with this idea card that has a little tutorial on it on how to get this specific look, and this one is very different than the other three boxes that I've received because this is the first time that we have a powder to use, so I'm pretty excited about that. If you've watched my previous videos, you'll see that I have had a couple that weren't very successful, so I was really looking to follow the instructions this month and see if I could come up with some cool and creative ideas using the explanations and details that they provide. And here are the two polishes. So this first one, the retrograde, this one is a stunning blue, sort of opalescent color, kind of has a little bit of a purple shift to it. It doesn't really have glitter necessarily, but it definitely has a shimmer. And this black looks like just a normal black, but it says it's a sticky black. And from what I read in the instructions, that meant that it was supposed to create sort of this sticky, barrier for the gold powder to stick to, and this is the gold powder. So I'll unwrap it off camera. I've never used this powder before, so it'll be interesting to try. I have another powder that I might try in this video just to kind of compare. And the box also came with this sticker, which is super cute. It's like a little fortune teller's globe, and I like that a whole bunch. And now we're starting to get to the plates that come with every monthly box. The plates are my favorite because those are where you can really do a lot of creative things, and getting 2 every month has really built up my collection. It looks like the theme for this month is going to be this sort of galaxy astrology theme. Here you have, it looks like some beachy and some sky type patterns, and then all of the horoscope logos. What do you call the horoscopes? They're really cute. I personally am not super into astrology, but I think that the designs are cool. The second plate has a lot more space type items. There's some planets and a galaxy, some different constellations, and of course more of the horoscopes across the top. This will be fun to do, maybe different underlays and kind of stack some of the stamping on top of each other. I am excited for this one a little bit more than the other one. So just like previous videos, I will start off by swatching each polish over a black base and a white base. We'll start off with retrograde, which is that opalescent kind of, it looks like it might be kind of sheer, shimmer blue. And right off I can tell that putting it over white, you can't even see it. It's like invisible. I'm not even sure how that's possible. If I didn't know better, I would have thought maybe it's supposed to glow in the dark or something. But you can immediately tell that it shows up on the black beautifully. It didn't stick on the whole nail, and as we go through the video, I'm starting to think that it may have something to do with how dry or not dry the base nails were. Because you can see I had the same problem with this indigo base. I used the retrograde using one of the constellation prints, and it also did not stick very well. And I had pre-painted these nails earlier in the day, so they were very, very dry. There was no stick to them at all, and so I'm thinking that that probably affected the transfer of the stamps. I tried this one twice and pretty much had the same results, where I wasn't getting the whole transfer of the stamp. But on a positive note, I really like the indigo with the retrograde. It's a really pretty combo. Once I decided that the nails were probably too dry, I decided to experiment and try this Orly Bonder over the white and the black base coats to see if maybe that would add that little extra stick. And then I was going to use the sticky black to try out that gold powder. So here is the first transfer, and it seems to transfer a lot better than the retrograde was. So I thought maybe that was going to be the trick. The instructions said to kind of rub on the gold powder onto the stamper directly, and then take that and stamp the powder over the nail. So it should stick to the black polish and not the rest of the nail. But that is not the result that we got. In fact, you can see the black very clearly. It doesn't even look like the gold stuck to the black very well. So I wasn't sure where I went wrong on that. But what's interesting is you can sort of see the outline of the stamp on the stamper. So it's almost like it picked up some, but not all. So I tried the same plate and the same polish over the black. This one's kind of fun because you can see the sticky black over the shiny black. So I thought maybe this would look really cool having that gold over the black. And it did look really cool, but it's the reverse of what we were expecting. We were expecting to have that gold over the pattern and not the nail. So I decided to try another experiment, and I used one older polish from my collection, just straight up black. This one is not supposed to be sticky, and in theory, once it dries, then the gold powder should not stick to it. Here I am prepping the stamper with a heavy dusting of the powder. I started to think that maybe I was using too much or too little, and so I thought, okay, if I apply the sticky black over the dry normal black and apply a heavy powder, maybe I would get a better sense for what the powder needs for consistency, like if it needs a more dry or more wet base to stick to. I think at this point the sticky black is not 100% dry, so I think there are parts that are still wet. And look at this, the powder stuck to the dry normal black just as well as it did the sticky black. And when you look at the stamper, there's a very clear empty space for where the powder was picked up and where the wet paint transferred to the stamper. By this time I was pretty disappointed in the results that I was getting, so I decided to try the tutorial included in the kit and follow the directions to the letter. So here I'm applying 2 coats of retrograde, and then I'm going to follow it up with a matte top coat to kind of cure this first base coat. And even by itself, these colors are really pretty. I like retrograde a lot, and as this matte top coat dries, it gives it a really cool effect. So by itself, this is a really pretty nail art, and I guess it's not nail art, but I would wear this, is what I'm saying. Anyway, once I let the base coat and the top coat dry completely, I used the Virgo sign with the sticky black, applied that over top. You can see that transferred really well, so maybe having a fresher top coat seems to help. I also had a thin layer of the gold dust prepared before I even started with the stamping, and nothing. I mean, not nothing, I guess there's a little bit of powder sort of sticking there, but it's kind of crazy how it doesn't really stick to that black, which I thought was the intent of the sticky polish. I wasn't entirely willing to give up on the sticky polish yet, so I dug out a chrome powder that I had that is meant to be used on gel polish, but I felt like the sticky polish is supposed to be acting in the same way as the gel polish would. So I really hoped that using the chrome polish sort of prepared in the same way as the gold polish instructions, that maybe this chrome polish would stick to the sticky black and I might get a cool effect out of that. And I was wrong. I mean, it just, at this point, it feels like the sticky black polish does not work as advertised, and I would love to see how people get it to work. I finally admit defeat at this point and move on to doing something different. This is a color that I already had in my collection. This is a Maniology gold color. This one stamps really well, but I really thought it would look pretty with a blue color, and I had seen that beachy stamp on the plate and thought, wouldn't that blue look so cool over the gold in like kind of a beach idea? And so here's that initial stamp. I use a lint roller to kind of take off the excess right there, and I wanted to try and do a reverse stamp again. I had tried that in a previous video and it wasn't very successful, so I figured I had plenty of time for this video, so I went ahead and did the painting on the stamper, and then after you see me kind of fill in between the lines here, I let that dry for quite a while. I moved on and did some other things while this was drying, and that is like kind of a lavender color, and then you'll see here in a moment I try to bring in that retrograde again, since that polish is really pretty, and I was hoping that maybe using it in reverse stamping on the starfish here, that maybe that would look really cool. However, I was afraid that this wasn't going to work, and so I only did the 2 shells right there. And then I applied the Orly Bonder to the gold nail. The problem is you're seeing this pretty much in real time. I did not let that dry. And when I went to transfer the stamp, I ended up pulling up some of the base color and not transferring the stamp at all. But when I transferred the stamp to my the lint roller, it transferred perfectly fine. So I didn't want to try the reverse stamping again. I just went ahead and did my midnight blue over the gold, and I love it. This is probably one of my favorite nails of this video. I think the gold and the navy look gorgeous together. And also it's one of the few stamps that transferred completely and stuck well. The success of the gold and blue inspired me to try doing gold over the indigo nail, and this one did okay. Again, this nail had been painted earlier, so I think it just didn't have a tacky enough base coat to stick to, which is definitely something I'll consider in future videos. But in the meantime, I wanted to try retrograde again over the indigo color, and it didn't do great. I mean, just like earlier, it didn't stick very well. I think I kind of shook my hand partway through the transfer, so it's weird right there, but it's fine, I guess. This was the last experiment that I did. You can see that that Midnight Madness really picked up well on the stamper, but it didn't transfer well to the nail, and so this was really the moment that I decided in future videos I will use the Orly base, that bonder, on all of the nails before I do the stamping. And that concludes this month's Maniology subscription box video. I hope you got something out of it, or at least learned a little something. And please like, subscribe, and comment below on things you'd like to see in the future. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.